So we got the news of another Republican retiring ahead of the 2022 midterms, and God, you know what? McConnell's third or fourth hand man, Roy Blunt, is gonna shuffle off into the night, and much like many of his cohorts, they are just peacing out because they see the direction of the party. They aren't going to be a part of it because somewhere in the back of their mind, they're still thinking Jeb can probably win this one. But yeah, sucks to suck, I guess. So he's going to be retiring. So there is going to be potentially a good new replacement for him in the great state of Missouri to join alongside Josh Hawley in making that state a firm populist movement state. Not really known who's going to be stepping up to them, but we got a little bit of a background here. And then we also got a development in Rob Portman. I do believe it's Rob Portman in Ohio, at least. There is a candidate who's stepping up, and you won't fucking believe it. But it's not quite as crazy. Maybe it is. Maybe it is just a little bit more crazy, actually. Who is going to be joining in with David Perdue. One-time failure. Might as well make it a two-time failure in Georgia, because Warnock's seat is going to be up, and new player over there. But before we get too far, Republican Senator Roy Blunt of Missouri on Monday became the fifth GOP senator to announce he won't seek re-election next year, opening another challenge for the plan to flip control of the Senate. Why? If you get a good Missourian in there is no hope in hell. You would literally have to fuck this up at such a high level for Republicans not to vote for whoever they put up for that seat in 2022. It's not really that much of a problem. But then again, I'm not some $30,000 a year hack at the New York Post. Roy Blunt, the number 4 Senate Republican, announced his decision in a video he tweeted. Sometimes this isn't very good. After 14 general election victories, oh my God, it's finally time to stop. Thanks, Roy. How many potentially great politicians have you snuffed out over your 9,000-year-old campaign? 3 to county office, 7 of the United States House of Representatives, and 4 statewide elections. I won't be a candidate for re-election in the United States Senate next year. Nobody shed a tear. The 71-year-old senator, wow, he's fairly spry at that age. He should have stuck around for another decade or so. The Senate Republican Policy Committee incumbent senators are heavily favored for re-election, meaning retirements are seen as one of the disadvantages. Not in Missouri. It went nearly, if not double digits. It was right there for Republicans. So fucking hold on to your seats, kids. It won't be much of a race. Except for outside of primaries, which I want to see a list of people who are going to be coming up. Half of the senators are older than 65, and many cling to their seats well into their 80s. That's the first line that this dude has written that I totally agree with. Missouri has trended towards the GOP in presidential politics, but it most recently had a Democratic not just a governor in 2017. Oh my God. And a Democratic senator in 2019. What? Still not fucking likely. 2 positions. You just look at their state delegation in the House of Representatives and you're going to see a different fucking story. 3 other swing state Republicans are also retiring. Richard Burr of North Carolina, where it's heavily rumored, but it hasn't been formally announced yet, that Laura Trump is going to be at least hopping into that race because her and Eric have residency down there. She is born and raised in North Carolina, I do believe. And she's been heavily tipping that hand that that's the direction that she wants to go. Unlike the reservation I'd have for Ivanka, who is pretty much just a feminist and is married to the biggest failure that is associated with the Trump family, who thankfully doesn't have any real sway within the Trump party right now. Thank God. Been replaced by Don Jr. and couldn't have happened to a nicer man. Apparently, Kushner's dealing with the business side of things where he's much more accustomed to dealing with that, and thank God, because he was nothing but a failure. But he did help. He did help with the Abraham Accords in the Middle East. So credit where credit is due. At Toomey of Pennsylvania, it'll be interesting. I would love to see Sean Parnell, who was, what I can say on YouTube, unsuccessful in Western Pennsylvania, but he's also a decorated war hero, an author, has great name recognition. So he was running in a tough seat, or tough district rather, West Pennsylvania. So it'd be interesting. I don't know if he has any intentions of running for the Senate, but once a candidate there comes in, we'll definitely be looking at it. Ron Johnson of Wisconsin, yeah, that'll be another interesting one as well, because Wisconsin, as it sits right now, could just go either way, and without Trump being on the ticket, it'll be very interesting to see how that one shakes out as well. And deep red Alabama, literally anybody. Like, thank God Richard Shelby is finally retired at the ripe old age of 86, but I left one name off there because that is going to be the next hop over as well. Rob Portman in Ohio. We got the first primary candidate coming in, okay? It's fucking Geraldo Rivera. What? Yeah, exactly. I'm considering running for the state Senate, or for U.S., Senate in Ohio. Good fucking luck. Good fucking luck. But this is just hilarious. The dude, I couldn't think of anybody who actually has less credibility. Like, was Karl Rove busy? Could John Kasich not be reached for comment? Like, yeah, that's going to be a spectacular failure. So hopefully he's getting that sponsored by somebody, because I don't see that run ending very well. But now we got to hop over to Georgia, because fucking middle-aged powerhouse, the dude, immediately, if he were to be elected, he would be the baddest motherfucker in all of Congress. Okay? The dude took up mixed martial arts, even though he'd been practicing he's been a practicing martial artist for his entire career. He would immediately walk into Congress and command respect like nobody else that's around there. And you know what? It makes sense, because he was very vocal. He was out there on the campaign trail in 2020 alongside Trump and Trump Jr. And it doesn't matter if you're Democrat or you're Republican in the state of Georgia. You talk about the Georgia Bulldogs, one name comes to mind, and that is Herschel Walker. And he has a deep history with Donald Trump, okay? He signed a huge contract to be a part of the USFL, okay? He was benched by an idiotic coach for the New York Generals. Herschel Walker called up Trump personally, who was owner of the New York Generals at the time, got him in and immediately rush for the rest of the season after he was benched for a couple of games for 2,411 yards, okay? The dude was a fucking beast, okay? He was really a beast too for a couple of seasons in Dallas before he was traded. That ended up building a dynasty for Dallas down the way, but at the same time, you cannot discredit what a competitor this dude is, okay? His background in business is pretty solid, and most high-profile positions can be won or lost on name recognition. And in the state of Georgia, like I'm saying, you put the name Herschel Walker on the ballot, he is going to get just the lay person to show up and vote for him. Let's tab this little right up here. Former President Donald Trump publicly urged his friend Herschel Walker. Yes, this is where this is stemming from. Trump sent out a message from the office of the former president. It was very short. It was very succinct. And it said, you know what? If Herschel Walker ran, yeah, that'd be a good thing. Run. Run, Herschel, run. So it's leading to speculation. I haven't heard anything before this, but just like Sean Parnell, who I brought up before, when the president asks you to do something, you consider it. You consider it strongly. Let's get back into this. A Heisman Trophy winner and former professional football player to run for the U.S. Senate in Georgia on Wednesday, hinting he would endorse him. Wouldn't it be fantastic if legendary Herschel Walker ran for United States Senate in Georgia? He would be unstoppable, just like he was when he played for the Georgia Bulldogs and in the NFL, USFL as well. He is also a great person. Run, Herschel, run. Walker grew close as the former president's tenure as owner of the USFL's New Jersey Generals, for which Walker played football incredibly successfully. Walker also served on Trump's Council on Sports, Fitness, and Nutrition. I couldn't think of a better ambassador, to be completely honest. Walker previously spoke on the night of the Republican National Convention in 2020, where he defended Trump's character and disputed allegations of racism against then-president, saying, "I've seen racism up and close. I know what it is, and it isn't Donald Trump." Mainstream media most affected. It hurts my soul to hear terrible names that people call Donald. The worst one is racist. I take it as a personal insult to somebody, that people would think that I've had a 37-year friendship with a racist. People who think that don't know what they are talking about. He has also signaled Trump's commitment to racial reform through his actions in office. Yup, Just because someone loves and respects the flag, our national anthem, and our country, it doesn't mean that they care about, or that they don't care about social justice, Walker said. In this case, it's not rainbow-haired social justice. It's addressing problems and actually following it up with actions instead of just words. He shows how much he cares about social justice and black community through his actions, and his actions speak louder than his stickers and slogans on a jersey. I think it would be a total pisser if Herschel Walker were to run in Georgia. He would be head and shoulders better than David Perdue, who is just another one of these establishment types who would just immediately backstab anybody. You remember, because there were two candidates that were running. Loeffler was out there and she was talking, and even now she's doing a bunch of other stuff to help with election reform. But David Perdue was just there because, hey, he just wants to sit back and collect a check. So he's already filed his paperwork, or was in the process of, a couple weeks ago, and so far nobody else on the Republican side has hopped in. Granted, it is fairly early, but the moment Herschel Walker decides he's going to do this, or not, I believe he will be the front runner, and ain't nobody going to catch him, even though he's pushing 60, because that is still a bad motherfucker. With that said, guys, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.